Yeah, man. So I am back again, and today's gonna be a very serious episode. Even though I did say I'm technically taking a break from serious episodes, but today is going to be kind of serious because a lot is happening, and I'm also going to be like multitasking because I have exams and I have to prepare for my exams. So yeah, a lot is happening, and I just had a few things I would like to share and just to put out there. And before we get into it, like always, welcome to the Back of the Class show. I'm your host, Dami the Creator. And please show your support for the podcast and for the show and for me by subscribing to the YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere. And also giving a follow to the social media accounts. You can follow the show at Back Class Show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can follow me personally at Dami the Creator on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And with that being said, let's just dive into it right away. So we live in very, very horrific times, scary times even, and I hope we all know it. But if you don't, well, there is a war happening between Israel and Palestine, and with said war, there is a lot of propaganda that is being pushed via social media, via the news, anywhere, any form of media really. And I want like use this episode to kind of like share what we can do to show our support to the people of Palestine and to show our support and to show our disdain, this being against the war, by protesting, by doing whatever we can, donating, helping out in whatever way, shape, or form that we can, and also trying our best to take care of our mental health. And when I say take care of our mental health, I don't mean tune out the evil that's happening to the people, because that is a privilege. It is a privilege to be able to say, okay, I want to take a break from consuming information about this. That is a privilege, and we need to identify and acknowledge the fact that we are in a privileged position to be able to like have the choice to turn a blind eye, because there are people literally being blown up without any semblance of a choice. So yeah, so pretty much, I would like to start by saying, do whatever it is that you can, what supporting whatever way that you can. Go on the streets and protest. There's protests being arranged, being organized. Attend a protest if you can. Of course, not everyone is going to be able to, because again, yeah, we live in a society that just doesn't let us do everything that we want to. So if you can, please do attend a protest. If you can, please do attend a protest. And if you cannot, there are other ways you can help out. You can send donations to the Red Cross organizations and other organizations as well. You can send donations. You can post on social media, and I know none of these feel like they actually help, and that I think that's also low key kind of the point, because the government, the power holders don't necessarily want us to feel like we can help. They want to take away every ounce of like hope and every ounce of strength that we can muster, and turn us into very docile citizens, and turn us into people who just like have to turn a blind eye, because it is very emotionally tasking to consume the information, because there are very evil things being done to people who do not deserve this. Collective punishment is by every definition a war crime. Collective punishment is by every definition wrong, and innocent people shouldn't have to lose their lives in any way, shape, or form or capacity. And so the government is, and I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, and we're like talking about like, yeah, like even though they went to a protest, they just didn't feel like that was going to help anything. But yeah, it probably might not help. It probably might help. We really would never know. But even if it does help, it might be a very tiny, tiny, tiny piece of help. But very tiny drops of water can eventually lead to an ocean. So every single thing that we can do to help counts. No matter how small, no matter how big, no matter how medium, whatever it is, every single drop counts. Every single thing that we do counts in any shape, in some way. And we should do our best to try to help. And also, like I said at the start, propaganda is very much present. Propaganda is very much out there. Propaganda is very much everywhere. And I'd like if we can like just, as we consume the information, as we inform ourselves, as we gain knowledge on the situation, and as we develop our own opinions and our own standpoints and views, we need to understand that one, first of all, we are in a privileged position. We are not actively involved in the situation, and as a result, we have the privilege of having quote unquote objective opinions. But our objective opinions are based in subjectiveness. So whenever we do inform ourselves, whenever we do consume any piece of information, we should all make sure to double, triple, quadruple check the sources, the information that we're getting, and make sure that there's proof. Because propaganda will propagate, propaganda will do its thing. Just a couple of days ago, there were already like false reports of madnesses being done which were not true. So we need to make sure that we are trying our best to consume the right piece of media, because again, we are privileged. We are not active participants. We are more passive than active. We are not on the battlefield. We are not in the bombing zones. We are just observers. And as observers, we do have a responsibility to, at the very least, ensure that what we're basing our opinions on are as close to reality as possible, and not the subjective truths of the people trying to push the propaganda. We also need to keep in mind that even if we do get our information, honestly, fuck this, even if we do get our information from news outlets that we deem to be trustworthy, we also need to keep in mind that a lot of these news outlets are sponsored by the 1%ers, by the government, and have to get clearance from the government in some cases. And yeah, and sometimes the government doesn't have, well, not sometimes, most of the time, all the time, the government doesn't have the best interest of the people at heart. The government doesn't value human lives over the quote unquote monetary investments that they've made into certain places. For instance, the US has huge amounts of money invested into the state of Israel, and as a result would do everything they can to ensure that Israel comes out as best as Israel can, because that is beneficial to the government, and along with other European states and other places. So we as a people, we as civilians need to ensure that when we do inform ourselves, when we do consume information from news and from government agencies or whatever, we need to make sure that the piece of information that we are getting are substantiated by evidence, and we need to ensure that we make informed opinions in something that's as close to the truth as possible. Because also in years from now, the history books would record what needs to be recorded to favor the victor and not exactly what actually happened. This has been done time and time again, years back, years in, years for. It's just how things work, unfortunately. So years from now, when kids or grandkids, whatever, when they go to school, we need to be able to like provide them with the accurate information of what actually happened, and not the information that would be put in the textbooks by the government. So guys, it is very hard. It is, I've struggled finding out what to, like, how to do this. Like I was like, let me actually take a break from the whole podcast thing, because it's a lot. It's a lot of yeah, a lot of evil is being done to the people of Palestine. A lot of evil is being done in the Middle East, and yeah, it feels very hopeless. It feels very much like there isn't anything that we could or can do, but we just have to find a way to help, even in a tiny way, because if everyone does a very small piece of something, and we combine all of those small pieces of something, it would lead to something. It would be something tangible. And like always, please, let's keep our for those who are religious, for those who are spiritual, for those who do believe in a higher power, just let's pray for the people, pray for the innocent lives being lost, pray for them, and let's do our collective best to try to help. And again, outside of that, we do still have to take care of ourselves. Don't completely tune out, because again, that is a privilege to be able to tune out. And if you completely tune out, you would not be able to form an accurate representation of an accurate opinion on what's happening, and you will not be able to help in the best way possible. So let's not completely tune out, but let's also try our best to take care of our mental health. Find community, find people who you can talk to, who can be there for you, who can assist you grieve the lives that are being lost and grieve the entire situation. And with that being said, that's going to be the episode for today. And yeah, please reach out to places, to agencies, to doctors if you need any sort of professional help. Please reach out to please reach out to them. Please get help if you need some. Try not to isolate yourself, and just once again, post on social media, share information, inform others. Even if it feels like you're creating a bubble, create that bubble of information. Let that information spread, because someone in your bubble might have people outside of your bubble that need the information. So by creating that bubble, you're extending the knowledge outside of your bubble. So please share information, share things, share protests that are being organized, attend if you can. If you cannot, that's also okay. You still have lives to live, like a job, school, whatever. Unfortunately, we live in a society that's just built like that. So do what you can, take care of yourself, and as always, thanks for showing up, I guess, and lots of love and prayers up for everyone. So to end this, just subscribe to the channel, follow on social media at Faculty Class Show and at Stanley_the Creator. And I'll see you again, I guess, next week. And just crazy times, and just hopefully things do get better. And please, please, please try to inform yourself if you're not aware of what's happening. There's a lot of content out there that does a great job at informing us. There's different types of content, there's different creators who are a lot more versed in situations like this, who have a lot more of the language, the accurate language of and the accurate representation of the situation. So please go out there, inform yourself, inform others, and just do what you can. And with that being said, that's that for this week, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.